Hello friends, Namaste. Welcome to Harshneeti. This is CA Harsha and you are watching episode 2 of the topic Karneeti, that is taxation. In the previous video we saw that how the Indian tax system is unjust, does not support the joint family system, and combined with the indirect taxation and GST adds misery to the millions of Indians each year. So first is we'll quickly run through the examples that I shared in the last video. So on the screen you can see the examples. The first one is person A, Ramesh. He has no dependents. He does not support his family. He is a free bird and the income exempt to him is 7 lakh rupees. The next person B is Suresh. Like 68% of the Indian families, he is the sole breadwinner, meaning of the 68% of the families, there is only one person who is earning money and supporting the entire family. So he's one of them. His dependents are parents, spouse, and kids. So total 6-member family, including him. His total exempt income is 7 lakh rupees. Now, when you see compared to Ramesh, he may have to spend additionally on education, medical expenses, and any routine expenses. It would be 6 folds compared to Ramesh. But still his income exempt is 7 lakh rupees. The third example is person C, Hitesh. 4-member family, each member is earning and the exempt income will be 7 lakh rupees each. So a combined family income that would be exempt would be 28 lakh rupees. Over and above all of this, like this taxation, they also have to pay tax on whatever amount they or their family spend on a routine living expenses. It will include anything from chappal to ice cream to car to insurance to mediclaim, anything and everything. So they have to pay indirect taxation as well. Now I just changed the slide. How our taxation becomes insensitive at times. So let's take a hypothetical example here. Person B, Suresh, he is earning 15 lakh in a financial year. Now for some reason he has to incur 15 lakh rupees as a medical expense for his parents. Apart from that, he has to incur a lakh rupee or a 2 lakh rupee as an education for his kids. And in that financial year his income is only 15 lakh rupees. So you can see on the screen 15 lakh he has earned, but expenses are more than 15 lakh. Over and above he has to spend on routine living expenses. So in that financial year he might have earned 15 lakh rupees, but his financial outflow would be a lot more than 15 lakh. Also, each time his family spends money, they have to pay indirect taxation as well. So he might have to use his savings, borrow money, or take a debt from relatives or anyone, and he has to run this difficult year. But due to the insensitive nature of the direct taxation, he has to pay tax. The only reason being he is earning more than 7 lakh rupees, and our direct taxation does not consider the expenses. It only considers the income part. No matter how genuine the expenses are, it does not consider those exceptions. And hence, this is why we say that our direct taxation is insensitive in many situations. Now, coming back to the point, many people gave me a feedback on my first video that Harsh, this is the problem that everyone is facing and everyone is aware of. What value addition you are doing from your videos. So what I want to say is I'm not just raising the problems, I have solutions to it as well, and I'll propose my solutions in the coming slides. But first is, let's go a bit off topic. Let's see how the taxation works in the other areas. So I'll change the slide and we'll go through the tax rates. So first one is the lottery. In lottery, the efforts that you need to do is you need to go to a shop or you can buy a lottery ticket online and just wait. If it clicks, you win the lottery, you have to pay tax at 30.9%. So the efforts here are very difficult, like you have to go and purchase the lottery or you can buy it online, and if you win you have to pay tax at 30.9%. Now there are surcharges and everything, but I have ignored surcharges for each and every taxation. So just to keep it simple, you have to pay a tax of 30.9% on lottery. The next tax is capital gains tax. So how it works? Let's say I purchase the property. Now if I hold it for 24 months or 36 months and I sell it, I have to pay tax at 20%. Now even if I make a gain of 10 lakh rupees or 10 CR rupees, The tax rate here is 20%. It's not on a slab basis. This is the important point that you need to know. Capital gains, no slabs. Flat 20% only. Short-term capital gain, it's as per the slab rate, like the individual. It could be say 10%, 15%, 20%, 30%, whatever the slab rate, this income will be added to your total income and it will be taxed accordingly. Now there is a long-term capital gain on shares. So you invest money, and if you hold it for a year or more, and if you make any gains, the tax would be at 10% only. Again, there is no slab rate. You make a gain of say 10,000 rupees or say 100 CR. The flat tax rate is 10%. On short-term capital gains in shares where STT is paid, the tax rate is 15%. No slab limit. Again, 10 rupee gain or a 10,000 crore rupee gain. All you have to pay is tax at 15% only. Also, there is an exception, like if you trade from tax haven countries in India. Now, this is a loophole that the government is trying to close, but it's not fully closed as of now. There is no tax. How the companies and partnerships are charged. Partnership 30% on profit. Again, so profit is after your expenses, eligible deductions and everything. Whatever the profit comes, you have to pay tax on that. For companies, on profit, so there is a minimum alternate tax is that is say 15%. Maximum it could go to 30%, but for majority of the companies, the tax is 25% on profit. Okay. And now let's see how the individuals are charged. So these are the tax rates. It's not only for the salaried. These are for the businesses and everyone, small businesses, medium businesses and everyone. So your income up to 3 lakh, nil tax. 3 to 6 lakh, there is a slab rate of 5%, 6 to 9, it's 10%, 9 to 12 lakh, it's 15%, 12 lakh to 15 lakh, it's 20%, anything above 12 lakh, it's 30%. Now, a person doing a business, a person doing a job, slogs day in, day out throughout the year, and anything he earns above 15 lakh rupees, the government says that it's a lottery to you. You have to pay 30% tax. So this is the tax rate. If you earn more than 15 lakh in a business, in a job, no matter what your expenses are, you will be charged at a 30% income. So do you think this is fair? Do you think this is rational? Do you think it's easy to consider say any income above 15 lakh as a lottery winning? My answer is no. There is a disparity in tax. This has to be rational. This has to be revisited. This has been going for multiple years, which needs to be stopped now. So what are the solutions that I have? So let's finally go through the solutions. I change the slide. So here say I have my proposed solution. First is we need to have a unique identifier number. One of it is we already have with us, that is Aadhaar card. So we need to link Aadhaar cards of family. So for example, Ramesh, the example we saw that he had 6 dependents, including himself, right? So the Aadhaar cards of the entire families are to be linked. And if say Aadhaar is not linked, if the Aadhaar is say it's of only Ramesh, like Ramesh was the first example, he was a sole earner and he does not have any dependents. So his 7 lakh income was tax free. Now he does not have a family, so his tax free limit has to be changed. He does not support education, he does not support medical expenses, he does not support families. So his liabilities are less. So obviously there is no point providing him a 7 lakh exempt income. So for him, let's reduce the exempt income to say 3 lakh. This is just a proposal. There is no detailed logic. This could be revisited the amounts, but it's just for an example. Let's say his income exempt should be 3 lakh rupees in comparison. For Suresh, who supports a family of say 6, his Aadhaar would be linked to other 5 family members, and his let's say exempt income could be say compared to Ramesh, it could be increased to say 15 lakh rupees. For Ramesh it's 3 lakh, for Suresh it could be 15 lakh rupees. Now again what needs to be done is, say Suresh is paying say educational expenses. He should get flat deduction on all the entire educational expenses, because it's the government's responsibility to provide the education. Same way, medical expenses. Now Suresh is supporting the joint family system, providing the social security to his parents. So any medical expenses that he incurs on his family members, including parents, it should be deductible. Now let's say when Suresh files his tax return, his income exempt should be 15 lakh. His financial income is 15 lakh. So he has to pay zero tax. Now Suresh's wife Sushila starts earning, right? For her, the exemption limit would be nil. Because for the entire family, the exempt limit is clubbed into Suresh. He has claimed that limit to the full. So whatever his wife Sushila earns, she has to pay tax. Once, say, the kids start earning, again, the slab will automatically change. Like, say, if kids are earning and say they are independent, there is no point say providing that grant or additional exemption limit to Suresh. It needs to be revisited and it needs to be reduced. But this is how I propose that the tax should work. Now, Hitesh family, all are earning members. Now, say if we go by the example of Ramesh, like for him we suggested 3 lakh of exempt income. For Hitesh, say 4 members are working, 4 are independent. So ideally, either each one of them can claim say 3 lakh rupees as an exempt income. But if they are living jointly, like they are supporting a joint family, then we can give them certain grace of say 3 lakh rupees. So total exempt income for those 4 adults independently earning should be 15 lakh rupees. The other benefit of Aadhaar linking and using in schools is promoting education. Now, not only say the school should link Aadhaar to each student and their parents, they should also update the educational performance and have an Aadhaar as a tag so that if someone wants to see the performance of that child, we can trace it through the Aadhaar. Of course, the limited persons will have access, but there are many benefits to it. Let's say someone is performing very well in the schools, but they are not from a high income family. What the government can do is to motivate those students, to motivate the parents to educate their kids in the poor families. They can provide a benefit that, okay, if this person is having this Aadhaar and if their children are doing well in school, let's say there is a free public transportation for those people. So there are other tax benefits also we can provide to them so that it promotes education among the kids, and this all could be traced through Aadhaar itself. So one of the scheme of the government is say Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao. This helps that cause as well. Through data analytics, we can also know from all this data of the kids studying in the school, like which school is performing well, which school needs attention on the teachers, and lot more. So through data analytics, if we need to even improve the quality of education, how those kids perform after coming out of the school, everything will have a data, and through data analytics we can do a lot more meaningful things. The next thing is rationalizing the tax rate so that there is a clear differentiation between a lottery income and versus say a salaried income, small business income or anything like that. There is no point to charge say 30% to a salaried person who is earning more than 15 lakhs, or say to small businesses or medium enterprises to charge such a heavy rate, especially when they are also paying the indirect taxes. The next is say there is no rationale, like we went through the slides of capital gains and why there is no slab rates. Why say a capital gain is charged at only 20% irrespective of the quantum of the gain. So if someone is earning 100 crore rupees, why we need to charge him only 20%? Why not 50%? Why not 40%? Why not 30%? Why there is no slab rate? And why there is a slab rate for a salaried person or small businesses or anyone else? Right? It's not rational. This is like we are supporting people with money and we are doing injustice to other people who are working hard day in, day out. Right? So this needs to be changed. So there has to be say slab rates on capital gains. There has to be say higher taxes on the shares, listed shares and everything else. If we put tax on that, our tax collection would increase, plus there would be a lesser burden on the majority of the people and it will improve the quality of life of our people. Another thing we can do is once Aadhaars are linked, government can physically check once or twice in a year on the senior citizens. Now this is very important. India as of now is a young population, but the population that we have is so huge. There are hundreds and crores of people who are aged and there is no one to look after. If we have linked Aadhaar, we can check on them like once or twice. We can check on them how they are doing. Are they facing any problems? Are they eligible for any government scheme, support or anything? We can check on them, we can improve the quality, we can let them know the country stands by them. Even if they are alone, the country stands by them. Plus, when we do this exercise, we can flush out the dummy Aadhars in the system. This will save the spillage in, say, subsidy systems and various other government schemes, like, say, government is providing subsidies to farmer to a certain extent. Though a minuscule amount, they are providing. LPG subsidies and lot more things. Spillage can be avoided if there is an Aadhar check. And this needs to be done yearly or at least twice a year. Further, through this, we can design various schemes to benefit people, to promote education, to generate awareness, and lot more, for which we will come to it on later slides. Another is, say, any expenses that a person makes, there has to be a digital trail linked to Aadhar. Let's say I'm spending on, say, car, I'm spending on insurance, I'm spending on schooling. Everything has to be linked to my Aadhar. Plus, there has to be a cross-check audit. The major issue is tax evasion that people do. So if I have purchased, say, a chappal, if I have purchased a car, the government can see it in my Aadhar trail. What the government can do is cross-check this with the manufacturer, with the dealer. Have they paid GST on the transaction? Are they avoiding indirect taxes? Because they have collected it from me, but they have not deposited into the government. It could be for any small item, like a 10 rupee chips packet also. This could be traced out. Further, when we see that, okay, to certain Aadhars there are no expenses associated. So are those dummy Aadhars? How their living is justified? Who is spending on their behalf? A lot more analysis can be done, and black money in the system could be reduced. The more white money in the system, it means the more tax collection and the less burden on the people, honest taxpayers. So one example I have covered is Suresh went to buy chappal from DMart. This purchase should show up in annual expenditure of Suresh in his Aadhar, and the government can cross-check with chappal manufacturers, say DMart, the entire chain, whether the GST has been paid, and if the income of Suresh is below certain, let's say is below poverty line, now there is no point collecting GST from Suresh if he is not earning enough, right? So government can think of a mechanism, like say from Suresh I collected, say, 3,000 rupee GST in a financial year. His income is, say, less than 50,000 a year. Let me provide him this 3,000 as a rebate, or let me spend this 3,000 on upskilling Suresh. But if there is Aadhar, if there is this data background, a lot can be done on that part. Last but not the least that I propose is inheritance tax. Now, this will let each generation work hard, reduce corruption, reduce income inequality, and act as a booster for economy and bring overall tax burden down. Currently, the gap between the rich and the poor, it's increasing. There is no way it has reduced even by, say, couple of basis points. Now, how to reduce that? So first is inheritance tax. I'm not saying, say, you put 50% tax on inheritance, but there has to be some tax so that a wealthy person, his kids work to sustain that standard of living, to sustain that income, to sustain those assets, and also some of that is contributed back to the society, which could be used better and efficiently to improve the overall economy and the life of the people of the country. Now, these are my suggestions, and I believe this will definitely help people. If the government thinks from a neutral perspective, it definitely makes more sense. And what we are following for so many years since independence, it had no logic, no rationale. And this will definitely improve the quality of life, and it will definitely promote more people to pay their taxes honestly, because in the end they are only benefited. Now, there were certain frequently asked questions to me by the viewers personally. So I want to cover that as well in this video. So the first question was, does your views promote population explosion, Harsh? So my answer is, say, they suggested people will start making, say, larger families for tax saving purposes. My answer is no. I do not promote population explosion. This scheme considers only 2 kids for the family. If someone has 3 kids, like, we need to consider genuine exceptions like triplets or twins born in second pregnancy. But if someone has 3 or more kids, they have to pay penalty. The government has to impose the penalty on them. The biggest problems that I see in future right now is unemployment, with rise in artificial intelligence, with rise in say automations, there would be a large scale unemployment. And if there is a population explosion, it's like we ourselves are being a part of contributing to the problem and not to solving it. And the entire country needs to follow this two-kid policy, irrespective of religions, caste, anything. 2 kids at max per family. Anything more, it has to be penalized because it's putting the stress on the country, the economy, the society, everything. The next question was, isn't it unfair for the individuals not staying in joint family system? I'll say it's not unfair. Look, Suresh supports his family's medical expenses. Suresh supports, say, education of his kids. Other way, Hitesh or say Ramesh, who was an independent person, he's not doing either of this. Plus, any expenses that Suresh does, it's 6-folds compared to Ramesh to the economy. So obviously, he needs to be incentivized. So it's not like we are penalizing individuals not living in the joint family system. It's like they were getting an undue benefit as of now, which needs to be stopped. And overall, when the efficiency comes into the system, the tax rates will go down for everyone, be it say Ramesh, Suresh or Hitesh. Next is, why did the government didn't think of this and worked on it? I'm not sure why the government didn't think of this. I'm reasonably sure they would have an idea that this is unjust, but they have also used this idea just in exactly the opposite way that I have proposed. Like in many states, there is a scheme called say free mediclaim facility. There, what the government does is, to provide a benefit, the government sees the income of the total family. Like, see the hypocrisy. To provide this benefit, what they see is the income of a total family and not an individual person. So, let's say I stay in Gujarat. So, in Gujarat, if you have to claim this benefit, the total family income should not be more than 4 lakh rupees. Here, when they have to provide a benefit, they see a total family income. But when they have to charge tax, they see individual income. So this is where I'll say the government is aware, but it's not using it in the favor of the people of its country. I'm not sure of the reasons, but this has been done since so many decades. It's not about a particular party or anything, but it needs to be revised and improved across India. The next question I had was, what I suggested, say people find it funny, that is it possible to link Aadhaar and have this system work? Like, India is an IT hub to the world. Computation, artificial intelligence has reached new height, right? China is using a lot more to monitor its entire population. Like they track everything from height, weight, movement, where they invested, from where they received the source of income, who lives abroad, and lot more. So we are just capturing the few events. So it's very much possible in today's world. And the last question that I had was, say, what is the difference between the Rajneeti and Harshneeti? Why you call it Harshneeti? So Raj means power and Niti means policy. So Rajneeti is to stay in power, the policies you make. So here the inherent incentive to a particular people or the community would be to stay in power. They will design the policies which will say have a short-term happiness or which will achieve short-term goals. But it won't be right for everyone. Whereas Harshneeti means whoever is in the power, if those policies are followed, the entire country will be benefited. So this is the difference between the Rajneeti and Harshneeti. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. If you have liked it, please share, subscribe, and let me know your feedback in the comments. And last but not the least, I'll say Jai Bharat. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Thank you.